Fast forward to 2010. I met a guy on Facebook and flew overseas to meet him a few months later. Now, I wasn't going to a place that was foreign to me. I'd been there several times, and I was always looking for reasons to go back. It felt like home to me. I knew that place is home. So, this guy, my ex, who I did eventually marry, we met at the bus station. He picked me up at the bus station and walked me over to this park. We stayed every day at this park. We'd meet like 10 in the morning, 10 or 11 in the morning, and we would stay until 8 o'clock or just before 8. The time just flew by like we were only there an hour. There was a grocery store on one end of the park that we'd go and get food from. So he showed me this grocery store. And we were sitting, we had this tree that we would lay under, one of two trees, and it was at the other end of the park, just above, it was an empty clearing in front of this bathroom, but later on there would be a restaurant built there, but we would be sitting like right behind this restaurant, where the restaurant is today. I felt an energy in this park that I mistook for his energy. He's very beautiful physically, really, really beautiful guy. But there were several red flags that I ignored because of the energy that I felt while I was in the park. While I was in the park. So then, I did end up marrying him a couple years later after that, and we stayed together 13 years, and then there was the pandemic, and I wasn't able to travel to him, and we did leave each other during the pandemic. But I came back in 2022, and I found, as soon as the borders opened, I came back immediately, and there was a big, I actually went to my house to find my husband there with someone else, and so I left my house, and I actually surprisingly felt really free. I wasn't, you'd think I'd be very upset, but I actually was put out. I was just put out. I wasn't, I adjusted really, really well. And then I started going with the flow. I decided not to leave immediately, and I went back to the city, because our house was not in the city. It was just outside of the city. So I went back to the city and found a place to stay. And I just started going with the flow. I was really happy. and I took a walk up to that park where we used to sit, because it's a nice park. But I went to the grocery store. I was actually going to the grocery store, not the park, to get something to eat. And I walked into the grocery store the first day. As soon as I walked through the door, I saw this big guy, and I was like, whoa. It hit me so, like, I said, wow, this is my dream guy right here. It's like I designed him myself. He had everything I had always ever, like, physically. It's like I was the architect of this person. Even down to there was a little space between his two front teeth, which I have always loved this. I loved this. This is something I really like. And he had that. He had a short crew cut, almost like not like a mohawk, but it's like a very short crew cut. Very dark complected, big guy. At least 6'2". Muscular. Beautiful. He looked up and noticed me too, and he smiled, and it was the most beautiful. It was like the sun came out in the store. I was just so smitten with him instantly, and I kept coming back. Every morning I would go, I would get up, I would shower, make myself beautiful, and walk back to the store just to see this guy. And eventually I would ask him for help, or I'd say hi. We were kind of flirting with each other. And eventually which is very out of character for me, I asked him, I was like, that's enough. I can't just do this anymore. I can't just, it was like a couple of weeks have gone by. I asked him out. I said, would you like to go out for some coffee or something? Like, what are you doing? Would you like to go, I don't know, coffee, dinner? And he said, well, yeah. He said in a couple of weeks. He was actually with a karmic, and he said in 2 weeks I'm going to be breaking up with her. And there was a reason behind that, but I'm not gonna say that now. But I said okay, and I was really fine with that. So I was over the moon. But I don't know what it was about this guy. It was just something. It was really indescribable. It was magic. Just magic.